Hello, everybody. I'm
I
small. I can be bigger.
that was the worst intro ever. I'm so sorry I ruined that for you.
No, you're fine. I also was just like, oh, I can be bigger. Hello, welcome in. Uh, welcome back to Cove Game, aka
Cove
Our Life
game.
Beginning Isn't Always. I have
I'm here
started naming the
too.
files Cove Game. We are continuing. This might.
Oh, I need to pull
Yeah,
up the
okay, this
stream.
is the right one. Okay. Choose
Just-
to customize Cove yourself or let his prior experiences determine it. Appearance. Wow.
you can hit both as well, and it'll let you customize his personality if you hit both.
Both? What
Yeah,
does both do?
it
Wait.
lets you customize his personality as well as his appearance.
Oh, I did.
Like you can
Oh,
choose if he's a warm, happy beam of sunshine or like
yes, go back here.
antisocial.
Oh no, I overrode it.
Oh. Don't worry, you can scroll backwards and it'll make you go back.
Okay. Both. There we go. Neat. Or
Yeah.
not neat. Hmm.
There's
Messy
so
hair.
many really long hair cove saves. Cove things.
Oh, that arm.
Wait,
I
what?
did not. That arm scar.
Oh
Ouch.
yeah, because he broke his arm, so he's got a scar from it.
Sure,
I don't
one
know
or
if that's how
two.
that works, but
I like shirt one. There's there's two kinds of pants, and both pants have variants. I'll do
that's an ad, by the way.
yeah. Landon,
Yeah?
I need to know fashion.
Yeah, you're awful at it.
I am awful at it. Come choose the pants.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Landon.
Oh my gosh.
There's
Design.
there's two
Landon has
kinds.
to design
There's pants
penguins
one,
being joined
two
boys.
styles, and then pants two, two styles.
With that shirt, I would do the second pair of pants. You could make the first pair of pants work with a different shirt. Maybe.
This shirt.
Those pants are so ugly.
So
You're anything
with
them.
these pants,
No, the brown ones.
these pants, okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you're hopeless.
I need to go to a fashion class.
Me, to be honest.
Ooh, I like that as a bracelet. It matches the necklace. Let's go. Hair, more hair? No, no. This is. Oh, this is pajamas. Pajamas should not have glasses.
You didn't give him glasses? Bro.
He. Wait, what was that?
Judging your taste. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with his eyes closed constantly.
Bro.
But I think these glasses look the best.
Were you
PJ's
actually
one.
going with glasses? Did I accidentally bully you into giving him glasses? I'm sorry.
Boom. Now it's no longer. I didn't technically stop streaming the thing, but I mean I closed it, so that. We'll go with that. Sure, cool. Jacket. Well, that jacket is way too bright
Jacket
colored.
colors. Oh, I'm getting
That jacket is
flashbacks.
really bright.
Yeah, the
That
bright
it
pink.
doesn't match the. I don't think
always
pink
went with the
matches
black
brown.
I always went with the black one.
Cool.
The pink one.
Now,
Just
let's
looks like-
let's see glasses. Yeah, no, I think glasses might work better actually.
Yeah.
They bring it together more.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sporty. Oh, I don't like sports, but well, Nerd
Do you want
or
him
sporty?
to be? Yeah. Do you want him to be a nerd or a jock? And do you want him to be a golden ray of sunshine or antisocial?
I don't know what candid is, but
Candid is in between. So, like, just
affable,
kinda chill.
quiet, or candid, or in between both, or in between affable and candid, or in between candid and quiet.
So do you want him to
Let's
be?
do mixed for that. Sure, I like that. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Ooh,
The
nervous.
warmer
Oh
he
yeah, I
is-
chose nervous crush, didn't I?
That makes. By the way, the way you feel about him is the exact same way he feels about you. So. that can-
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. August ended, September began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes.
Bye, Spicy.
Oh, bye. Oh, Spicy just like went poof. Spicy
Yeah.
did in fact go just poof. Cool. I guess that means I'm making you big. I can like get a separate one that is like just you. Since it is literally just you, sure, we'll do it. What is the thing? Reactive. There. Log in. Oh, I have to log in. Oof. Am I recording? I am recording. I'm just like, did I actually start the recording? I did. Authorize. Invaluable browser source rel. Cool.
I heard my name.
I'm adding you as a browser source so that it's just you
Oh,
and you're not small.
but I am small.
Oh, I just copy and pasted that. Whoops. Copy that. Okay. That. There we go. Now you're bigger than me.
Oh.
You'll be on the other side. You'll still be smaller than me. Cool. Alright. He hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things that couldn't be done anywhere else. Oh, do you want to read, like, Lizzie lines?
No. I mean, I can't.
Just like a
if you
no.
want me to. You want Lizzie to actually? I don't have the right accent for that. Never mind.
Oh. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while.
I'm literally
At
just...
school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids. What were you saying?
Oh, I'm literally just remembering everything that's about to happen and going, oh, you need to see this, you need to see this. You need to see the anklet scene and the freaking
Excuse me, what?
camp scene and the
What?
And that one really angsty scene and
From what you saw, anyway. Youthful affection. Now I unlock that. Okay, whenever he could, Cove stuck to you like glue. He didn't even mind that much what you did to pass the time, as long as it was together wholesome. I need. I have the game set as Minecraft.
Hey, the Harmon's comment is theirs, probably.
I believe so, yes. Cool. Now the game is updated at least. I'm not gonna try to do it. Alright, sometimes it was like things were exactly the same as when you had first met. But other times, as you got older, you couldn't ignore how the feelings had changed in meaningful ways. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody.
yay!
At first, you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too, for different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He had said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes, Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. He seemed very confident that it was an effective strategy. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents, and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. You hoped that you could help him feel better still, since even without the tears, he looked sad. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly, you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen. Even if your sin didn't agree. That is still pretty small.
One thing I agree with Lizzie on.
It's true. Officially makes you a teen, but still small. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes, too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did with school stuff overall. Over the years, he began opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. Just slowly going through a bunch of pictures. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone.
Yep.
Gone?
Shiloh's gone.
Okay, we don't get to see teen Shiloh.
Nope.
Or adult Shiloh.
We get other friends.
Oh, cool. He and his mom moved back south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks, but nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. You learned some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way.
Yeah.
Things at home were different, true. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Ma dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. You remember calling her Mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were much too old for the word. So, now it's Ma and Mom. Cool. And now it'll be easy to tell because Ma is purple hair. Or some color hair. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname, too. She insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth. So you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and the shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. I think so, yeah. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. He didn't live in the same neighborhood or go to the same school.
Oh my gosh.
What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work, if Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed, in small and big ways. You had too. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle into this new normal. Then, before you knew it, school was over, and summer vacation had come again. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was as hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time off by sleeping in, Wide awake, about to head out to enjoy your time off. Honestly, snuggled up in bed. It was hot,
Sleep.
but you still had the blanket up over your head to block out the sun. You didn't want it intruding on your lazy morning. Unfortunately, you hadn't prepared for an intrusion. From beneath the blanket, you heard the door creak open. Elizabeth.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's gonna be weird. You're still
Oh my
sleeping?
gosh.
Wow, get up.
No, go away.
Go away? Sure, that's what I can actually say that.
You can? Oh, okay. I was just joking around.
There's go away. You pretended to still be asleep. You got up. You started to fake snore loudly, or morning, with 3 dots. Morning. Go away. Fine, I'll morning. Morning. Now get up. I will come over there. So much for a lazy morning. Your special boy is at the door, like he always is now. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him. Say thanks or whatever. You did not like the way she called him your special boy, but you knew by now that saying so wouldn't stop her. So come down already. I'll be there when I'm there. Okay, fine. Elizabeth said nothing else and left, having done what was instructed of her. You rolled out of bed, stretching your arms up high and yawning. Time to get ready. You sat yourself in front of the mirror in the far corner of your room. Your reflection hardly even fit in the frame. You're very tall. Your reflection went over the whole length of the mirror. You're pretty tall. Your reflection fits comfortably in the frame. Your average height. There was a lot of open real estate in the frame. You're pretty short. You had trouble getting your reflection to appear in the mountain mirror frame. You're very short. I'm either going to go average or pretty short. The fact that these have colors on them. I'll go average. Cove was really tall. Derek was kind of short, and you were pretty much the exact height someone would expect it for a 13-year-old. I wasn't sure how to feel about it. Things kept changing. With the height you actually had and what the impression of that height was based on your age, it was confusing. Then you put the finishing touches on your outfit, and while ruminating on the situation, careless as they had been, Elizabeth's word piqued your curiosity. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to today, so this worked in your favor. It was when you spotted your reflection that you realized you were smiling wide. You were looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, resting a hand on the railing as you went down the stairs. As you do with railings. Ooh. Screenshot. Step 2. Second chance. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands, which she was perusing through. Morning, Mom. She looked up at your greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face. She had her hair done. That looks so weird, having her hair in a bun. Though it does look a lot more mom-like.
Fair enough.
Good morning. Thank you for coming down. Ma's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go when thinking before he leaves? I'm excited to see what Ma's purple hair is. If it's it's probably a dark purple. Or maybe it's not.
It's
I'm
a very
excited.
dark purple.
Oh, it's very dark? You nodded
Yeah.
and made your way to the front of the house, just as she said. Ma was there making conversation. She must have heard you, because she looked over her shoulder. Okay, that's like a nice plum. Look, we finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than average, so you were little in her eyes, despite being a typical size for your own age. You let her do it. You happily let her do it. Or you pushed your hand back and laughed, you pushed your hand back and groaned, or you tilted your body aside to dodge. I would just accept it. You stood by patiently and indulged your ma's wishes. She gave you 2 small taps on the crown of your head. Ah, you're the last one down today. You know that? I was going to say stay in longer, so you're welcome. Yes, thank you for gracing us all with your presence this fine day. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Cove was, as you remembered, exactly how you came to know him to be. Okay, that's adorable. That is screenshot worthy. He leaned uncomfortably to the side in your doorway, as his bushy hair covered part of his face. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be the much-talked-about gift. At first glance, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers. Then you gave it a real look. No, instead it was carefully cut fruit. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment.
He's a dork!
Absolutely. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. So many screenshot moments. At the sight of you, Cove smiled, but there was some nervousness to it. Hey. You smiled back. You couldn't help thinking, too, when you first met Cove, and how you became such good friends. Lately, though, you were starting to have different feelings for him. Oh. Hey, it's nice to see you. You too. Wait, hold on, I have to hear that yeah again.
Oh my gosh.
You too. That is very much a nervous yeah. His grip on the base of the gift tightened and your heartbeat sped up. Even if neither of you had spoken about it, both of you were aware something new was growing in your relationship. It was already shaping up to be another long summer. The best part was that the two of you had plenty of time to spend together and explore what was developing. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. Your hands brushed over his just lightly when you took hold of the base. He flinched enough for you to know with certainty that he noticed it happen. You worried you might have reacted in a similar way without realizing. And with that, the gift was accepted. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so anyway. He smiled earnestly. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. These options. Thank you. Thanks. You are too cute sometimes. Do I do it or do I not?
Do it. I'm in an
Flirty.
ad.
You're too cute
the
sometimes.
flirty options are really funny because he stops responding. So it's up to you.
I'm not trying to be.
There's one flirty option that I'm gonna have to get you to pick because it leads to a really funny scene.
Okay, then. Just thank my dad for all this, okay? Fine. Mr. Holden's behavior was different from any neighbor you'd ever had. Though, after 5 years, you were used to his antics, and you'd since made up your mind on what your opinion was. You didn't like him.
You can pick, he's hot.
I saw that. He was great, and kind of handsome to boot. I kind of want to see that. That's hilarious. Well, I don't know what he looks like at this point, so I can't say anything about his appearance. I mean, he's an adult, so probably didn't change too much, but still. He was nice, sort of funny, pretty weird. I didn't like him. He was great, or he was great and kind of handsome to boot. I kind of want to do that.
You can if you want to. I've never picked that before because I don't think he's cute. But like,
Roll 1d20. If it's above 10, I'm choosing it.
please be above 10 for the lols.
For the lulz.
For the lols.
It's a 5.
No.
I'm choosing it anyway.
Yes!
Though there were some things people didn't like about Mr. Holden, you didn't mind them and liked him quite a bit. And even if he was Cove's dad, you couldn't pretend like he wasn't a nice-looking guy. That was good too, but it was something you kept to yourself. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are, is that Mr. Holden? You shared a confused look with Cove. As one, you
No,
both
it's
stepped
not.
through the open
Stop.
door out onto the neighborhood street. Is it Derek? It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. Oh, it is Derek. You spotted Derek. I'm just like, Derek.
Derek.
You spotted Derek.
Derek!
Just a few yards down the road. He ran out to you.
Wholesome boy.
That cheeky smile that Cove
He's
has.
great. Derek is great. I need the DLC for him. Like the other
You
day,
were happy at the sight of him. We'll say
Oh
that
my
for
gosh.
now. Well, actually, confused wouldn't be the word I'd use. I'll just go happy. Derek was certainly a welcome to guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. Picture. After stopping a couple steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin. That's like the DLC picture, isn't it? Hold on.
Huh? What DLC picture?
Hold on. No, not wait. I feel like there was like a DLC picture that had this. Did it?
Had which? My stream is behind. Oh, yeah, it might be. They might have.
I
added
feel like
that
I
to
remember
DLC.
seeing that as a DLC picture.
It might be.
Then he looked up with a wide grin.
Derek!
Hey, guy and pal. I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. He's so short.
He's very short.
He's
For now,
so
he's very-
short.
He's very short for now.
That's hilarious, though. Just like compare him to Ko. There's such a height
Don't worry.
difference.
He ends up taller than Cove.
He
gets
is
very, very
he
tall.
is the sporty type. So
You know how I mentioned to you at one stage there was a dork, a himbo, and a flirt in this game who are gonna get romanceable stuff.
Derek's the himbo, isn't he?
Yes.
Himbos tend to be sporty.
Yeah.
And then Cove is the dork.
Yep. All I'm gonna tell you about the flirt is the flirt. What flirt? What?
The flirt.
All I'm gonna tell you about the flirt is that he's patently against stepping on anyone's toes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really odd, but okay.
that's what I was like. I was like, what? And then he explained, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Also, you're cool.
I need to figure out a voice for Derek. Should have figured you'd be at Amy's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or just always there?
Why did you say it like that? Oh
That's
my
my new Derek
gosh.
voice.
No, that's not what he sounds like at all.
Well,
Gotta
I
wait
don't
to
know what
hear
he
his
sounds
voice.
like.
He does speak. He does speak.
Derek
You gotta
laughed at
wait.
his own joke. He either didn't notice that it embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he actually was laughing at. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? You followed his gaze, unsure, then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made out of fruit. Can I have some? Now, that's the kind of a meme voice, but now I want to do it. Nice.
No.
Can I have some?
No! Don't ruin him! Ah! He's cute. Leave him alone.
Here, we can share. Derek
Oh my
grew
gosh.
more excited by your
Penguin,
words.
That's for your family.
Fine. Oh. Yeah, that nice just sounds so nice. Radical. It's a gift from a family. I can't give it to you. Derek pouted at your words, not hiding his disappointment. Okay, it might just be that Cove's messy hair is covering one of his eyebrows, but Cove looks very intrigued. Aw, okay.
Have you seen Cove's eyebrows? They're like zigzags.
They're wiggly brows. Then he nodded his head, as if to clear it. That's a determination face. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Cove was surprised. Oh, that's a worried face from Cove. Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nah, the new kid was all by himself, just walking. Did you talk to him? Nope. I came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave.
Who does that sound like?
You looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove, when you first got here anyway. It kinda does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. The wording is sometimes really weird. Small smile playing on his lips. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well, now that you say so. But what'd you say? Let's go find Cove's look-alike. We should all meet him. I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. Derek grinned. Then he pointed down at the street, the way he came. Last I saw him, the mystery visitor was going this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off, with Derek leading the way. And we're at the beach. Derek brought you to the beach. And as a trio, you made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun. He scuffled around, kicking up the sand as he paced. It was true, he certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad, like you had originally pictured. No, with his erratic movements and scrunched up expression, he came off angry. You became uncomfortable at the idea of talking to this stranger now. You didn't want to bother him if he was in such a bad mood. Derek didn't feel the same. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy. Hey, guy over here!
Have you seen him? Did I tell you something funny about him?
Yes.
He's dateable in a different game. In the same game Shiloh's in.
Oh my gosh. He looks so ridiculous. That haircut. No.
I know.
That's
no one
a
likes
terrible
his hair.
haircut.
Haircut?
Haircut. The kid whipped around, an unimpressive scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong hostile energy still radiated from him. What? What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. That's a very angry face. I think he's sleep-deprived. What's your name? Jeremy. Was that it? No, I'm Derek, and that's Amy and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, so you know, it's cool to see someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then.
Rude.
They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it. What? They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk into this town. Can you not figure that out on your own? I kind of figured. But I'm 90% sure he's sleep deprived.
Jeremy.
My dad brings me to Sunset Bird too, when he has to come to work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean,
Maybe he
I
doesn't
wouldn't want
deserve
to come
it.
here for a real vacation probably either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time. A chore. My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come and see them. Ugh. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too? Oh, that save. I accidentally clicked save. Or config. I clicked config. Whoops. I guess. That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No. Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves, since they cared so much, and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be home by myself. Pfft. It makes
I
no
mean,
sense.
you're 13, dude. Like,
Yeah. They are the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid.
oh my gosh. Brat.
Bruh. We just said hello. You don't have to you don't have to keep complaining at us. Wow, why did you decide to talk to me, huh? Did I ask for that? No. Did I want you to come over and start flapping your gums at me about dumb stuff? No. I'm trying not to be actually loud. Now you're gonna whine that this isn't what you wanted? Too bad. It's not my job to care. I absolutely hate him. You turned to Cove,
Yeah.
lowering your voice.
It gets worse.
Oh no.
It
The two
does.
of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing, though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed. Ugh, of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger. Maybe both. Come
Tongue?
on. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut?
You can threaten to punch him.
Wait, I can?
Yeah, it's really funny.
Is that apologize Cove right now? You can't treat people like that.
I think so.
Cove smiled weakly. Okay, I'm sorry your eyebrows are so terrible.
There we go. Should be that option.
You lunged it towards Jeremy.
Fight!
You shook your head. It's pretty clear no words would penetrate Jeremy's armor of rage, but you still couldn't hold back your displeasure for his behavior. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's word in a nasally voice. Wow.
Did you lunge towards him?
No.
If you do it, there's a really funny line from Cove.
Wait, hold on. With your fist balled, you made a quick step forward. Oh, but you only wanted to spook him, or he was the one who started things? You were ready to end them.
That one. Well, either one of them work. Either one of them will say it.
He made it clear that words wouldn't work, leaving you to resort to action. You weren't sure what would happen, but you couldn't let this stand. Oh. Derek and Cove jumped in to stop you before you reached him. They each grabbed you by the arm. Still, Jeremy instinctively stumbled backwards. He practically fell over. Huh. If that's all you can do about what I'm saying, it's just proving I'm right. You're brainless! You were annoyed the other two were against you on this, and got in the way. Though, the reaction you had been able to get was still worth it. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's words in a nasally voice. Wow. Yes, there was voice line there. The entire line there was said. This is dumb. Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go, hunched over, until he became a speck in your vision. Silence reigned in his wake. The three of you tried to process what just happened. I can't believe it. What a mean kid. Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy Jeremy was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed, and Cove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do. I was hoping we could go meet someone
Did you
fun.
go back and change your option?
I did go back and change to the punch.
Yeah, you missed the funny cove line. Oh no, wait. If you changed out of the punch, you would have missed the cove line. That's what I thought you'd done.
I
Whoops.
changed. Okay, I just haven't gotten to it yet. Then.
Yeah, it's still coming.
This sucks. I was hoping we could meet someone fun, hang out maybe. He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But you know what would really improve the day? What?
Oh my gosh, Derek!
He... he didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point right at the fruit arrangement that you were still holding.
Oh,
Why am I still holding it?
Because you didn't put it down.
You completely forgot about it during the mini drama that unfolded. You had gotten used to the weight. Glancing over to Cove, you noticed that he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. I need to save it. Okay. He sagged, still staring at the glistening fruits. But he didn't insist further. Yeah, it is a gift for the penguin family after all. It's still kind of funny that I actually went with the penguin family. I mean, I don't know what else I would go for. But they should be the ones who get to have it. Sorry for asking. It's fine. Quiet once more descended upon your group. Cove turned towards the ocean, a peaceful expression on his face. Hey, you two remember the land before time? That fruit thing makes me think of it. The dinosaurs all liked the leaves that were shaped like stars. Tree stars. Yeah, chopping leaves looked so delicious when they did it. Eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? I've never seen it. You should. It's great and really sad, but still great. Plus, it's about dinosaurs. Derek didn't say anything further about dinosaurs or otherwise. For the next few minutes, the three of you watched the waves crash onto the shore. Hey, yeah? The two of you met eyes casually. I think here it is. Were you seriously gonna hit that guy? Well, he had it coming. Amy, that's so bad. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool. I love that so much I took a screenshot of it. What? You're both crazy people. You knew when Derek said things like that, it wasn't serious. He liked you and Cove. Yeah. Derek then leaned back on his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh. I almost said content sigh. I'm a content creator, okay? So, are you both ready for summer break? How is someone supposed to be ready for a break?
I'm ready for a break. Finish my freaking
it just
course.
feels like
Let's
there's a
go.
lot to plan for. I mean, when you're already in the break, how do you prepare for a break?
Oh, fair enough. Also adds.
Yeah, and... But also, that was so funny. Just like, I thought it was cool, like vaguely flirty.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, it just feels like there's a lot to plan for. And what about you, Cove? Are you ready? I think that depends. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered. I wish that there was full voice acting. That's the only thing I wish, but kind of makes sense. Hey, Amy! You glanced over your shoulder to see your sister. She strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased. I've been looking all over for you. Mom said you and Cove ran off with the thing Mr. Holden bought for us. He leered over you with arms folded. Hey, at least I didn't give it to them, okay? You're lucky it's
That's
still
good.
here.
If you did give it to them, she gets mad at you.
So, where is it? It's fine, it's right here. You turned your body to face her and held up the bouquet, proving that it was in one piece. He inspected the fruit arrangement with a small frown. Alright, looks good. But if all you're doing is sitting around, you better take it back to the house now. It's not just for you. She grinned tauntingly, slyly glancing at Cove, who sat right beside you. No, don't reveal my crush. Even if you are the one person who counts to the delivery boy, this was up to his dad. It seemed everybody was in a mood to tease you and Cove today. Within moments, Cove's cheeks flushed red. He picked at the hem of his shirt, suddenly finding it very interesting. He always became nervous when Elizabeth would strike at your relationship. Get going. This wasn't okay just because you hadn't done anything. Yet. Oh no. Oh no. I think I hear the mean kid coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked, confused, and looked around. What kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just lunged to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. Elizabeth's eyes there. He followed after Derek, but he sent a look to you from over his shoulder. You turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brow raised. You ran! Without a word, you got to your feet and bolted down the beach. Unimpressed,
Oh my gosh, you
Elizabeth
actually
rolled her
left.
eyes. Wait, what?
You actually left. I didn't. I don't think I've ever ran off yet.
Unimpressed, Elizabeth rolled her eyes. They're so immature. Does she say there? No, she just says, so immature. And then in the text, there is added. She shook her head as she walked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumped his fist, grinning in triumph. We escaped and shall live to see another day.
Yay!
Victory! My moms are gonna be so mad when Elizabeth tells the story. Oh. Oh boy. You chuckled together, walking further down the beach, side by side. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. You had gotten a bit of a talking to for running off with the gift, twice even though you hadn't eaten any of it, but Elizabeth was also asked to be a bit more patient in the future. In the end, the four of you had split the bouquet and the event was fully resolved. That was a while ago now. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. Phone. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited, your gaze trained on the phone, taking a screenshot just in case I want to use it for a thumbnail or something. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin Leandra. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your uncle, aunt, and Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. A while back, though, they'd moved and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. With school being out, you're positive she's going to want to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Elizabeth, too. But now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family, it tended to be just you and Lee who spent time together. That's hilarious. Now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family. If we're talking realistic to me at this age, probably the second option. Being family helped make you close, but you had a lot of girlfriends. Not girlfriends, girlfriends. Even though you weren't a girl, you befriended them pretty well. Did I?
Does this mean you have a lot
Um,
of girlfriends and boyfriends, Pixar? I'm sorry, I had to ask that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, not anymore.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I think. I think you didn't have. I think I didn't have many non-girlfriends, honestly. It seemed that was just the type of person you associated with most at school. It's mostly because guys tend to be sporty, and I'm not sporty, and so I hung out with the girls.
Fair enough.
Then the shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. Who is it? Wait, no. Hello? Hi, it's Lee. I'm glad to see you. For a second there, I thought it might be one of Elizabeth's friends. There was static on the end, as if Lee was shifting wherever he was. So, can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Now we don't have to do any of that boring stuff, and we get to hang out whenever we want. Speaking of hanging out... Lee, can you wait a second? Let me just head to my room. You got it from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. Have I ever had a not wireless phone? Except for my grandma's phone that got not used a long time ago? Replaced? That's the word. Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless the call was in progress, which was why you'd been sat at this cradle waiting for Lee to call. You didn't like it, but it had to be that way. You weren't the only person here. If anyone could take the phone anywhere at any time, it'd be an even bigger hassle. You could easily imagine the receiver having a new forever home in Elizabeth's locked room. But now that Lee had called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your room and talk to her. You had made your ways upstairs, up the stairs, smiling. After you had arrived, you shut the bedroom door firmly behind you. You took a seat on your bed. Alright, I'm here. Hey, did you know the girl down the street from me has her own phone now? A cell phone. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything. Wow, really? Me at this age with a cell phone. Though I'm not sure it had a SIM card at this age. It might have just been a phone for games.
Video games, let's go.
Wow, really? The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you. Right? I wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own until I'm more grown up. I wish they'd changed their mind. We could call each other every single day, and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be? Really great. We could even stay up late, talking about whatever we want. Lee sighed softly into the receiver. At least they said I could have it someday. I can't wait. She sighed dramatically. I bet I'm not gonna get one until I'm all the way in college. Squeezing the phone between your shoulder and your ear, you puffed up your pillows and made yourself more comfy. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over and you'd have to choose whether or not to go to a college. School was such a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easily. Oh, this is a lot of options.
Yeah.
You didn't bother at all in school. Your grades reflected that. You never tried much, but you still didn't do that bad. Ghosting by had become routine for you. Teachers had warned you that you wouldn't be able to do that forever, but you figured it was enough for now. You had no plans on getting excellent scores this time around. I was just like silently reading them, just like which one would be me. It just wasn't something all that important to you. Yeah. You tried to sound engaged, but your mind had decided to go back to school despite the season. Lee knew you too well to be fooled. You sound so spacey. What's up? Just thinking about school. I do think about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer. That's what I'm doing. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. Yeah, everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers, too. Knowing teachers? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe. The only reason they wouldn't is because that would mean they get paid less than they already do. Though, I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. You can just do more when school's out. It's
True,
the easiest
true.
way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood.
Like Derek.
True. Except he's also not in school. The cafeteria lunches at my school could be better than they had any... Wait, what do you mean could be? The cafeteria lunches at my school could be better than they had any right to be. Honestly, my old school lunches, there would more often than not be chicken patties. They were so good. But unfortunately, my school was dumb, and we had to pay for lunch until, like, the very last 2 years of school, and that was because of COVID.
That sucks.
It does suck. So I only got one, like, once a week. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody new. No one really comes here. Uh-huh. I just realized Lee is Gossip Buddy. Cafeteria lunches are good. Lucky, mine's boring. But that was all. And that's pretty much everything that's good about school. Okay, point taken. Now, I decree the topic of school is officially closed.
Heck
We have to
yeah.
talk about this summer stuff first before we start plotting the rest of our lives. I've got some plans already. Like, I'm gonna visit my cousins. You chuckled, of course. What's something you want to do? The first thing that comes to your head. First thing that comes to my head is 6 options. I want to spend time with people. I've got some new art supplies. Reading. I want to catch up on movies and TV. Probably I'll spend time at the beach. I don't want to do anything at all. It's a vacation. If it were me now, it would be I'm going to catch up on YouTube videos.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll spend time at the beach. Could have guessed that one. I could have guessed that one. You leaned back in your bed, settling in, as you continued chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been that long since you saw her and you'd be seeing her soon, you found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day, you sat up straighter. I was with Cove and Derek today, and we met a new kid. Like, at your neighborhood? Mm-hmm. His parents are visiting family, so it sounds like he'll be around for a little while. I don't know how long. What's he like? What was he like? Kind of interesting, no. Mean. He kept snapping when all we were trying to do was talk to him. He just kept being rude to everyone. But especially Cove. It was awful. I don't think I want to meet him. You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with the boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around, until they started to annoy her. Hey, who are you to talk? You give practically all your attention to boys. Or maybe just one boy. Wink,
Oh
wink,
my
nudge, nudge. He doesn't say wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but... I see how much you like Cove. I didn't give him all my attention. That's a special case. Or, you got me. Yeah. Or, you weren't able to say anything to that.
Just getting embarrassed. You just, like, shut up. That's what I would choose. Yeah.
Lee laughed at your silence, deeply amused. You shut your eyes tightly, feeling embarrassed about her reaction. Oh no. I'm just gonna call her Lizzie, it's easier. There was a stomping noise approaching your room, heralding the arrival of your irritated older sister. She flung the door open, a frown etched on her face. How long are you going to hog the phone? Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. Elizabeth held out her hand, the other one lodged on her hip. She noticed the realization on your face. Time's up. With a sigh, you said your goodbyes to Lee. Lee, I have to go now. Okay, see you soon. Tell Elizabeth and your moms I say hi, too. You'd barely pressed the end call button when Elizabeth whisked the handset from your fingers and began dialing someone new as you strode out of the room. Your mom's voice called from downstairs. Hey, has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. With that, she shut your door behind you. Silence was left in the wake. That was one way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it had gone dark outside, and you laid in bed wide awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly.
Oh my gosh! We're up to
You
this
blinked.
bit.
Oh, staring over at it with furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you saw only the moon and an open sky. You were confused. What had caused that noise? I mean, judging by you, I'm guessing that was Cove.
Oh my gosh.
Frowning, you sat up and moved closer to the window. You might as well find the reason behind the disturbance. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? You
Yep.
squinted. Yep, Cove was right outside your window.
He's
Your house
not
was very angular, and some parts stuck out further than others, so it theoretically wouldn't be hard to climb around on. Still, just because somebody could, didn't mean you expected it to ever happen. To his credit, Cove was doing fine. His feet were braced against a section of the wall that jutted out, his arms flexing with the effort to keep him upright. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. You hurriedly opened the window. Cove climbed over the ledge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside. Okay, this is really sweet. that was the softest hey ever.
Wholesome.
What's up, Romeo? Amazing, my dreams have come true. Should I say what's up, Romeo?
If you want to.
Roll a 20, and if it's higher than 10, it's 3. Okay. Amazing, my dreams have come true. The other flirty option. That's... Amy, I need to talk to you and couldn't wait until tomorrow. If I rang the doorbell, I know
Just
your moms would
moves
have
on.
answered. It's like, that's... Anyway. If I rang the doorbell, I know your moms would have answered, and they'd just make me go home. I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Well, besides with you, I mean, but that's why I did that. As unexpected as this was, you were touched, Ko felt like he could tell you what was wrong. I might have tried calling her or something, except my dad was on the phone. Ko suddenly looked very cross. Dad, he was talking to my mom. Still is, probably. You raised your eyebrows. Cove had eavesdropped on his parents' phone conversation? I'm just not gonna comment on it. There were other things to talk about. Are you going to stay with your mom for a while again? Every year, Cove was sent off to live with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened varied. Sometimes he would go during winter break, but usually he went during summer. Even though it was hard news when you found out he was leaving and you missed seeing him those weeks, you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. That's what I thought too, but no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said he should come stay with us here, and that's why he's mad. You
Yeah,
waited
they
for him
got
to
divorced.
continue. He didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. You couldn't help but stare at Cove. There was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. Did she say what she would do? He told him he'd come. I know he's coming soon, before school starts. Oh. You had heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. He'd tell you about past memories, or what happened while he was visiting her. Still, it was one thing to hear about someone and another to actually meet them. Very soon, you were going to see Cove's mom in person. You were taken aback by the news, so you could only imagine how Cove felt. You look over at him. He was pacing across the room, his features pained with dread. Before they'd barely stay in the same room long enough to have lunch. Now we're all going to be together again. The three of us. After all this time? Just for a few weeks. Now I know I should probably be happy they can talk to each other now. I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out. And now I feel really bad for feeling this way. It's so... His fists tightened and his eyes became misty. I shouldn't keep getting like this. It's been a long time already, and I'm not a little kid. Though he wouldn't meet your eyes, you knew he was waiting for you to say something. And there's nothing wrong with feeling bad. That is hard to deal with. I'm sorry, Cove. You know I'm here for you. The tense line of Cove's shoulders eased. Thanks. That makes me feel a little better. Like I'm not freaking out for no reason. A momentary silence fell over the two of you. You marveled at how the day started. You had woken up eager for summer vacation, but now things seemed so crazy. The mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude, and as if all that wasn't enough, now Cove's mom would be living with Cove and his dad again. Your whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard and different. Why couldn't things just get better with time? Amy? The sound of your name, said quietly, pulled you from your thoughts. Cove gazed at you, concerned. There's a lot of options here. Yeah, I'm okay, you meant it. Yeah, I'm okay, you didn't mean it. No, I'm not. I don't know. Who, me? I'm more worried about you. Wow, things are kind of bad for everyone, huh? Well, help me choose.
What are the choices?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. You meant it. Yeah, I'm okay with it. You didn't. Yeah, I'm okay. You didn't mean it. No, I'm not. I don't know. Who, me? I'm more worried about you. Wow, things are kind of bad for everyone, huh?
Depends on how angsty you want to make this. Also, I usually go with "Are you okay?" basically because he's
like
the one
who
who
me?
needs
I'm
help
more worried
right
about
now.
you.
Yeah, because he's the one who's struggling right now.
I'm more worried about you. You don't have to forget about yourself or me. I want to listen to you too. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small and delicate, but you knew it was genuine. That is adorable. Moonlight Street. Nope, not street. Wait. I am reading words that aren't there. Moonlight from outside cast shadows across his face and lit up his eyes. They seemed to sparkle with a smile. Just that one look brightened your mood somewhat. You know, I think I don't want to talk anymore about this. He looked away, his lips thinning into a line, and rubbed at his arms. But I don't want to go back home, either. Could I stay a little longer, just doing something else? You're equal parts hopeful and vulnerable. How could you possibly turn him away? Easily. I'm kidding. I would never... Okay, especially with a crush, I would never be able to be like, no, you can't stay. Sorry.
But, I'm really sorry to hear
Of
about
course.
your struggling family situation. Now get out of my house.
Of course, you can always stay here, Cove. You smiled shyly, your voice as tentative as his was, but you meant what you said. Cove perked up at your response, a smile appearing on his face. He immediately took a seat on your bed, not afraid to get comfortable in your room. You felt a little better at the sight, somehow. You still had a lot of worries, but you were glad he was here. And not just tonight. You were glad he came into your life in the first place. That was a change you'd never want to undo. It felt totally natural to let him into your little world. That initial friendship had... I can read, I promise. I just need to hydrate, so hold on. I would have hydrated earlier, but my cup was empty.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Lots of reading.
Lots of reading. I guess
Lots
I
of
have to
reading
entertain the
means
chat.
Dry mouth.
That is very true.
There we go. That's a bit better. That initial friendship had deepened so much over these past years, and you were certain there was room to get even closer. You joined Cove on your bed, taking a seat across from him. He smiled at you again, but you could tell this time it was half-hearted. He was still easy to read. Though he didn't want to talk about his mom and dad, he must be thinking about what happened and what's about to happen. I can hug him, let's go. You hugged him. You moved closer and wrapped your arms around him. It wasn't much, but you hoped the contact helped even a little. Cove froze up. Cove froze up, startled. After a moment, his arms came up and he returned your hug. The two of you remained like that for some time. He might have mumbled something to you, but it was too quiet to tell what it was.
Cute!
That is so cute and wholesome. I love it. I'm glad I did that. Have you ever done that?
There's more. Yes.
There's six.
There's a
There's
cute
what?
and
6 of
wholesome-
those?
If there's a cute and wholesome option, I've probably picked it.
Let's see. There were 6 options.
I will admit I have gone through like 2 saves and picked mostly the same options. So
You know what?
I
Fair.
haven't done all of them, but I've done quite.
I kind of want to see what the other ones are, and then just come back to this one.
Go for it.
I'm going to do it. What was... You smiled gently at him. I couldn't figure out what the wording was after I clicked it. You had no idea how to make him feel better, though you wanted to try anyway. Hopefully your presence was helping. Okay, cool. I think that might be it for that one. You put a hand on his shoulder, reached out and placed a hand upon his taller frame. Okay, that... He also blushes there. Still contact. Cove blinked, startled. And now I have a bird singing.
I thought that was your sister.
Cove blinked, startled, before his expression softened into something more natural. You patted his back. You reached up and softly patted the back of his taller frame. It wasn't much, blah 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 blah. Cove blinked, blah 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 blah. Cool. You took his hand... Oh, I'll do the hand last, because the foot is going to be less impactful than the hand, I'm pretty sure. You reached over and nudged him with the arch of your foot. You had no idea how to make him feel better, but you were trying. Cove blinked, confused, before he swatted your foot away, but his expression softened into something more natural. Riley!
Did you just scream at your bird?
It's not my bird. But
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it's the only way he'll shut up. You took his hand in yours. You reached out and gently held his hand. It wasn't much, blah blah blah. Cove blinked. Okay, it's mostly the same response. This one is the most
I do have to move to my computer because all of my devices are running out of charge.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, which is great.
This is
So
definitely good.
yeah, so I will be back shortly because
Cool.
I am short. All right,
I won't do
bye.
too much without you.
No, that's okay. I'll just join in whenever. I'll be back
Cool.
soon. Bye.
Bye. I'm moving to a different voice channel. Cool. Now we're there. When you pulled back, his expression had softened into something more natural. The conversation was stilted and broken often by silence at first. Then both of you were able to get into your casual. It's not casual. Usual candor. Candor? Hey Google, define candor.
Candor is used as a noun to mean the quality of being open and honest in expression, frankness similarly to openness and honesty. Do you
Fair.
want to hear candor used in an example?
No, thank you. As your secret hangout session stretched on, you thought that you surely wanted to keep having moments like this with him. You hoped a day would never come when life decided that the two of you would have to part ways, and you knew Ko felt the same. You opened your tired eyes, groaning as they adjusted to the bright light that was streaming through your window and warming your peachy skin. With a loud yawn, you rolled away from the sunlight and blinked a couple of times, clearing the sleep from your eyes, before realizing with the start that it was actually morning. You couldn't even remember falling asleep. Ko crept through your window during the night, and the two of you spent time together, trying not to wake your parents. You must have fallen asleep while you were hanging out, but couldn't put a finger on exactly when. You wondered how late Cove had stayed before heading home. You rubbed your face and yawned again, contemplating whether you should get out of bed and get ready for the day, or stay snuggled up for a little while longer. Until your gaze landed on an instantly recognizable mop of pale green hair, and you bolted upright and gasped in surprise. He never left! He was still here! There, in the morning! Hold on. I kind of figured he never left. But what? I laughed out loud. He had fallen asleep while sitting on the ground and precariously leaning his head on the side of your mattress. With your laugh, Ko's eyes snapped open and his head slipped from its source of support. He didn't stop going down until he smacked right into the floor with a crack. Ow. You clamped a hand over your mouth and looked down at him with wide eyes, curled up where he had landed rather ungracefully. That I must have hurt. Are you okay? You winced at his humble, hoping no one else in the house had heard either of your outbursts. Yeah, I'm alright. Cove rubbed his forehead a little, and you weren't sure that was entirely true. If either of your moms found out Cove had slept here last night, the two of you would be in big trouble. Cove blinked at you a couple of times, his eyes growing in panic as some thought that only he could hear settled in his mind. I fell asleep. You weren't exactly sure what to do as you watched Cove pace your room, looking around frantically. Cove's hands flew to his face, letting out a sigh of relief when he found his glasses right where they were supposed to be. Despite that, he hadn't calmed down completely. The atmosphere was still frazzled. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's going to be alright. You just need to leave before anyone knows you're here. If they knew, we would have heard about it already. Cove nodded. His shoulders tense as he fixed you with a firm stare with his turquoise eyes. Letting out a heavy sigh, he ran a hand through his hair in exasperation. He couldn't look at you again as he spoke. I'll see you later. You were confused by how all this had played out, but hoped that was true. Bye. At that, you were suddenly wrapped up in a tense embrace. As panicked as he was, this seemed to be something he couldn't forget before leaving. Thanks again. You're a good friend, Amy. A really good friend. Friend, he's just a really good friend. He firmly whispered the words into the top of your shoulder. It made you feel tingly. But you were let go before you had a chance to respond, or even fully react. In a matter of seconds, he had climbed over your bed and opened the window. A cool breeze rolled off the ocean, fluttering through Cove's hair and filling your room with its salty scent. Cove fearlessly slept out onto the ledge. You wished him luck. Good luck, and please be careful. You gulped, thinking how far the fall would be if you were to miss a single step. You weren't sure if he heard you or not, but he kept going along, one foot in front of the other with increasing speed, until his form disappeared out of sight. You stuck your head out the window, as far as it could go, to try keeping watch. He walked the full length of the ledge before jumping down onto the top of the garage, then lowering himself onto the fence. From there, he finally dropped down to the ground. You grinned at the sight of his successful climb. He ran off towards his house without stopping, disappearing behind the side of another building. You had to admit, you were pretty impressed at how doable he made that look. Cove always seemed to have a way of seeming so smooth without even meaning to. With a little sigh, you reclosed your window, deciding there was nothing more you could do. You hopped off your bed and got ready to head downstairs for the day. You checked yourself in the mirror. You certainly looked like you had just woken up with your blue hair sticking up all over the place. Oh right, I chose blue, didn't I? Taking a comb from your bedside table, you attempted to fix and smooth down some of the messy strands. You took the stairs, slowly attempting to mask your face into a look of innocence. You were sure that someone would have come into your room if they had heard anything strange, but you couldn't be too careful. You had to play it cool. When you stepped into the living room, Elizabeth was there, tapping her finger on the counter. Good morning, Elizabeth. She looked you over immediately, her eyes squinting at the greeting. Why are you being so weird? You haven't even done anything. Your big sister never missed a beat, unfortunately. You stopped in your tracks, heart pounding in your chest as you wondered if you could see the sweat that was building around your temples. Amy? Wouldn't you like to know? He shrugged it off. I'm not. You spoke so nonchalantly, you almost thought she believed you. But you knew better. Further suspicious squinting occurred as she waited for something. But ultimately, she rolled her eyes, and you weren't sure if you were in trouble or not. She didn't seem to care enough to dig any further. Whatever. And then she walked straight out the front door, letting it slam shut behind her, and you let out a brief sigh. Elizabeth went out most days to hang out with her friends from school and school around town. Today, you were extra glad for it, though you were also grateful she hadn't left the house any sooner and risked running into Cove. It looked like you were getting away with that. Breakfast was eaten in peace, and alone. Your moms were both out by the time Your moms were both out by the time you had gotten up. They had left you a serving of food from the breakfast they made, hash browns, an omelet, fruit salad, and there were a few sausage links. You passed on some parts because they weren't things you liked. You appreciated that there was variety in the meals your mom made. The parts you did have were tasty. The day lazily drifted by at home, and eventually your parents returned. You pulled open the fridge again, lingering in the frosty air for a moment or two before grabbing a bottle of ice-cold water and taking a long drink. It was perfect. It was a perfect balmy summer afternoon, and you had decided to head outdoors and find something to do. You hadn't decided what that something was just yet, but you were sure something would pop up to occupy your time. Soon? As soon as you were heading out the front door? I did right. I'm just, like, making sure that it is set to our life. Okay, it is. As you were heading out the front door, you paused for a moment. You hadn't seen Cove since he had left that morning, and you couldn't help but think about what had happened to him. Would it be bad to go over to his house right now, or call him to check in? You stepped out of your house, still stuck in an internal debate with yourself, when a voice caught your attention. Confused, you looked over to where an unrecognizable woman was waving at you, a friendly smile plastered on her face. You racked your memory for where you might have seen her before, but nothing came to mind. Not your school, or from the country club your mom took you to. You had absolutely no idea who the woman was. The one crossed the road towards you, and you are a little unsure whether you should stay put or go back into the house and lock the door. Oh. This is Cove's mom, isn't it? Oops, I'm sorry. Was that presumptuous? I forgot about you, but you have no idea who I am, do you? You shook your head, and she removed her sunglasses to reveal sparkly blue, ocean blue eyes. All of a sudden, she seemed a little more familiar. My son lives here, and my ex, too. With a bent smile, she lifted a hand to point at the condo across the street from your own house. He was Cove's mom! Who could have predicted this? Definitely not me. You didn't know why you hadn't realized sooner, now that you'd gotten a good look at her. She seemed nice. Her attitude was friendly, and it seemed like she was genuinely happy to meet you. So, no matter your thoughts on her, you still felt taken aback that she had appeared here so suddenly. Cove mentioned she was coming, but you hadn't gotten the impression it would be the very next day. She extended a hand again, this time for you to take, and you studied the manicured fingers in front of your face and the assortment of bracelets that dangled from her wrist. I'm Kyra Priest. You can call me Kyra. Sure, I'll shake your hand. You reached out and took her hand, and she shook yours firmly, grinning wide. You already know my name? Cove's mentioned you to me before. It's nice to officially meet you, Amy. Cove talked to you about his mom. He hadn't mentioned how he said things about you to her. Nice to meet you, too. She smiled at you fondly, her eyes crinkling at the corners. The sound of a door opening and closing caught both your attentions, and when you turned towards the sound, it was to find Cove exiting his house, his eyes skimming the ground. Considering just how tall he had grown, you kind of figured his mom also would have been tall, but she was much more on the short side. For an adult, anyway. Cove's height must have come from his father. Oh, no. No. Not my baby. No. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. There you are. I thought you were going to keep me standing out here all day. You tried to catch Cove's eye as he walked towards you, but his gaze was firmly fixed on the sidewalk. When he finally crossed the road and looked up, he gave you a pitiful look. After the way he had acted last night, you knew he must be feeling pretty mixed up about this.
Good.
He tried to... Oh, hi.
Hang up.
I'm... Okay. Well, he's gone again. He tried to wordlessly express that you understood. Cove and I are headed into town to grab something to eat while the snore is at work. The snore? Wow, you really don't like him. Kyra beamed at Cove and ruffled his hair, which only seemed to upset him more. You assumed the snore she was talking about was Mr. Holden. Hey, you should come with us, Amy. I'd love to get to know you better. Yeah, you should come. There was a pleading look. There was a pleading in his tone that you couldn't miss. Of course, we'll run it by your parents first. Responsibility and all that. It'll give me an excuse to meet them, which I need to do at some point. It's important to be neighborly if I'm going to be roosting on this tree for the time being. Any whoosies, let's go! Kyra walked ahead, towards her house, and you hung back with Cove, who crinkled his nose as he watched her. I'm sorry about her, but I do really want you to come.
Hang on.
I really... hang on again?
Can't hear.
Hello? Test, test, test. Hello?
Oh, hi.
Hi. There we go. I have just met Kyra. Kira? Kyra.
Oh, Cove's mom.
Ko's mom, yeah. I'm sorry about her, but I really do want you to come. I don't want it to be just the two of us. Not right now. He leaned in closer and whispered, while checking around for anyone who might hear. What happened? Did your dad know you were gone? Cove shook his head and sighed heavily. Dad was so focused on Mom showing up that he didn't even notice. I thought when I heard them on the phone last night that it was something they were planning for the future. This morning, Dad said it was supposed to be a surprise, and I guess I was surprised. He's gonna be here all summer. Oh. You were surprised to hear that, too. Cove sighed again, even heavier. I'll go with you, if you really want me to. He smiled, his shoulders relaxing a little in relief. Thanks, that'd be cool. The two of you headed over to where Cove's mom had just knocked on your front door and stood behind her. Mom answered the door after a minute, her eyebrows lifting in surprise at the group she found in front of her. Mom looks like she just woke up, but isn't it like the middle of the day?
Maybe she always looks like that.
She always looks like she just woke up. You realize that, like you, she would have no idea that it was Cove's mom who was hanging with you. However, after blinking at the woman a couple of times and looking between her and Cove, the realization seemed to strike on her. Hello there, I'm Pamela. I see you've met my kid, Amy, and I'm guessing you've already known Cove for a while. Kyra laughed, and you and Cove exchanged looks at your parents' weird sense of humor.
Hey!
Hey, it's not my fault, that's what it says. I'm Kyra Priest, Cove's mom. It's so nice to meet you. A head of purple-brown hair caught your eye as Ma popped up behind Mom, squeezing herself in beside her. The purple hair actually looks really good.
It does.
We have company. I was wondering what all the commotion was. She grinned excitedly at Kira. The two of them introduced themselves and shook hands. Hi, Amy. Cove. Cove smiled at Ma shyly, and she gestured a hand towards the living room. There's no use hanging around in the doorway. Why don't you come in? I'd love to, but I promised to take my son out to eat, and I wouldn't want to hold you up with a surprise visit. I understand. You're welcome to stop by any time. I'll take you up on the offer when I can. Count on it. Would you mind too much if Amy went with Cove and I? My treat. We won't be driving. Just a quick walk down the road. Sure, that sounds nice. I hope you all have fun. You gave your moms a look, and they smiled at you fondly. You were happy they were letting you go. Why would I be annoyed they were agreeing just like that? You could tell that
Maybe she didn't like Cove.
Okay, true. But I do like Cove. Obviously, I have a crush on him. I mean, he's a totally platonic friend.
Ayo! Ayo!
I think you were gone for when he said, you know, you're a good friend. A really good friend.
Oh my gosh, Cove.
Cove's kind of obvious, isn't he?
Cove's funny. I like Cove. He's wholesome.
Absolutely. Oh, he also hugged me before he left this morning, I think.
Cute!
Yeah. Oh yeah, he slept over.
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, for me, I was like, what the frick? Why are you still here? Please!
Oh, it was just,
It was the most awkward freeze.
I was like, Cove's probably still here. That I assumed that by the fact that I didn't remember falling asleep and Cove leaving, and so I'm just like, and then when I mentioned don't know when Cove left, I'm like, oh, he must have left by now, and
That's
then
what
he was
happened.
actually there, and I was
Yeah!
like, excuse me, what? He's actually here,
That's
and
what
then I chose
happened
my.
to me.
And then I chose my genuine reaction, which was just laughing. And then, after he bonked his head on the floor, I was like,
Oh my gosh.
laughter, but also, are you okay? I just said there was an option for laughing while saying that. You could tell that Cove really needed the support, and you were ready to be there for him.
Yeah.
Marvelous! Expect us back in an hour or two. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care.
Bye.
Ooh, should this be where I end it? I don't have much time left.
This is still the prologue.
This is still the prologue. We haven't gone to, like, the screen of
We
4
haven't
options that I
gotten
can
to the
choose.
new stories.
This has been 2 hours, and it's just the prologue. Step 2, I think it's safe to say step 2 is longer than step 1.
I think step 3 is the longest. Step 4 feels the longest, but it's not.
But step 2 is still longer.
don't
Longer than
actually
step
know.
step 1?
I don't
Well,
remember
Logan-
what the beginning of step 3 was. That's my problem.
No, I mean, like, longer than step 1.
Oh yeah, step 2 is longer than step 1.
Okay. Ooh,
Just because
do I
of the
end
prologue
here, or
and
do I
step.
keep going for a bit?
Oh my gosh, I just remembered something. Sorry. Well, do you want to know where the prologue ends?
In time-wise, yes.
I'm not sure how long it'll take, but it's like after you go out with Cove's mom.
Okay, so
Then
maybe
you go home,
I
and
should
then
leave it
Cliff was
here.
like, haha, I'm in danger.
Cool, I think I'm gonna leave it here then.
Alright, make sure you save.
I just did. And now, menu. Yes. Cool, well that is going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like, subscribe, and more.
Bye.
I do realize this was like an hour and a half, but still fun.
Yeah.
Well, may or may not still keep joining me for step 2. We'll see. It may depend on if the goal is hit. It may not, though. I may just be like, hey, Ral, come join me anyways.
I mean, I'm down. I'll play at the same time. Completely unrelated stuff, too.
But yeah, if you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out all the links in the description. Twitch.tv/AmethystFangLive to catch these live.
Bye.
Wait, I just realized, this hasn't been picking up the game sound at all, has it?
I mean, I haven't heard it, but I haven't heard the game up.
Oops. Oh, it'll be fixed next time. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, twitch.tv/AmethystFangLive to catch these live. Donate to Extra Life, link in the description. And more links in the description. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Goodbye.
Bye.